Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to look at this 1/12 scale figure unboxing and review video. And today what we have here is the S.H.Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Black from Bandai. People might be wondering why did I ever try to review this Kamen Rider figure, because there is none of my Kamen Rider figure action figure review in my video listing. The truth is, I do collect Kamen Rider figures, but back then this channel wasn't established yet, so when I did all my Kamen Rider figures, I've sold out already to my friends and Facebook group member. So yeah, and I only keep one of my Kamen Rider, and I will show you in the video later. Okay, back to this iconic Kamen Rider Black, and he was actually famous in late 80s and early 90s when I was growing up then. And when the AmiAmi.com listed this guy, it sold out in I think couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes like that. And yeah, when it comes to this SKC figure, you must be fast in order to get your figure secure. So unfortunately I did not get from AmiAmi. I took a pre-order from a local toy shop here. So luckily here it is in my grasp, and I'm so thankful that I got this figure. So before we do the unboxing, let's take a look at its box art first. And as you can see, this is a standard for SKC figure to be encased with this kind of box, and it's pretty looking very exclusive indeed. And I love all the images in front of here. In the white background makes this image much more three-dimensional feels to it. And this we have Tamashii exclusive sticker. We have the Bandai and Tamashii logo. At the side we have this Masked Rider Black lettering with an embossed kind of material with a shiny finish to it, and we can see the reflection for the light if you try to moving it in and out and in different angle. So at the back we got this promotion shot image for this figure and all that he can do stuff, the kicking, punching and everything. And at the bottom we have this unreadable legalese. So yeah, let's unbox this figure right now. So I'm just saying that when you try to unbox an SKC figure, especially an SKC figure, you tend to feel like you're unboxing an iPhone, and the feeling of exclusivity is there, and I love that feeling. And it's just we are paying so much in figure, and we need that kind of feeling of expensive item in our hands. So that is a very, very good feeling, and I'm so happy that I got this, especially this Kamen Rider Black. So guys, this is the figure, looking pretty good. There is no damage or anything on my figure, looks pretty good there. And then this is the interchangeable hands and extra antenna left and right, so when you lost or damage your original or default antenna on the figure, you can easily swap it. So that is a plus point for Bandai. And yeah, I will be looking at this figure a little bit more closer, a little bit more in better position. So let's take this out and look at it a bit more detail, shall we? So guys, this is the figure, looking pretty good there, standing strong and proud. And as you can see, Bandai has done a really good job here with the proportion, and I think the accuracy to the character is pretty spot on. And this might just be one of the best Kamen Rider Black that has been produced yet. And yeah, let's take a look at it a little bit more closer and much more in-depth review. So shall we? Okay guys, let's take a look of this figure much more closer. And starting from this head sculpt, we can see that this stripe over here is actually sculpted and painted very neat, and you can actually feel it. And on this middle part also is sculpted and painted very well. There's no smudge or anything on the paint job. That's pretty good. And this antenna here can be replaced or changed if it's broken. So this silver tone over here, I like the silver color over here, it's pretty good. And then we have the two different shades of black over here. One is shiny and one is matte black. And the thing is that this logo also sculpted, unlike the version 1, which it can be rubbed off in time. And the part on his shoulder here is made of rubber. I think this is the unique part of this figure, I think. And but other than that part, all is sculpted with plastic and painted very well. And as you can see here, that this over here is sculpted on his wrist, not like the version 1 and 2, which it was actually a separate piece, but this time around it is one piece together with the arm. So yeah, that's pretty good. And just to check on the leg, because last time it was also separated. Yes, I think it's a separate piece. Yeah, definitely it is a separate piece, because just to allow the articulation for the foot over there. So yeah, I think the on the hand side, on the wrist they made it fixed, but on the like on the ankle they made it a separate piece. So this is at the back of the figure, nothing much. You can see all the details on this, where they print out all the maker, and all you can see, this is actually a rubber. It's a very soft rubber, and it is actually together with this belt. But on the buckle you can see that it is a separate piece. You can see the two pin that connects it with this piece here. So the buckle here is a totally different piece, and you can see all the wrinkles that they've done. This is the detailing that they've imprinted with to this figure. You can see it continues to the back, all the wrinkles all there, but I think pretty much on that part only. Okay, on the shoulder pad here you can see that it is very different to the armor material, so it is pretty similar with the helmet piece. So maybe someone might find that disturbing, but I'm totally okay with it. So I think that's all, and let's move on to the articulations part. Okay, on the articulation, starting from the top, we can see that this figure has two ball joint on the lower neck and upper neck, so we can look downwards that far, looking upwards till that extent. Yes, you can see, and that is pretty good. We have tilt side to side, that is a pretty good range, and we can look right and left. It can also be rotated 360 actually without any issue. And you can see that on the middle part over here we have the torso and the waist joint, so you can articulate this figure pretty much lean forward and back pretty good. But as you can see that when you're tilting it to the front, you must be mindful that that area might get damaged, yeah, so just be mindful on that. And on the shoulder, this is the tricky part of this figure. This under material is made of rubber, so you might be careful on that. It will crease over time, but you can see that it can open wide pretty good. It has shift down and up articulation, and then you can do a lot of stuff with this shoulder articulation here. You can bring it up or down, but make sure not to excessive. So yeah, you also have the rotation on the shoulder, and this is the butterfly joint. You can see I can actually extend it more than it's supposed to, but you might damage the rubber in time, so just be careful on that. So it can rotate 360, and it has this bicep swivel. It doesn't feel too tight, it doesn't feel too loose. It's pretty much okay for me. And then on the double jointed elbow, it does feel pretty tight on the joint, so just be careful on that. And then we have the ball joint on the wrist, we have hinge and rotation to the hands. So yeah, so at the leg here we have a cut over there, so we can actually bring the leg forward to that extent, because this is a very soft rubber, very soft material, so it can actually tuck the leg there in that area. So this one we have the double jointed knee, and we have the swivel on the thigh. That's pretty good. And then we have this forward and back on the ankle, yeah, because that is separate piece, so it's very manageable. We have also some sort of swivel on the knee part, so that is pretty good. So we also have a hinge, toe hinge there, looking pretty good. And then we have very good ankle rocker there. Just to point out one little tiny detail, we have something that maybe it is just me. This is first time I'm encountering this kind of articulation. It is on the lower part of the knee. As you can see here, there is some sort of hinge or tilt there. You can actually tilt the lower leg side to side, and maybe Bandai wants to make this camera can do a better rider kick, much more accurate to the character. You can see you can put the leg much more closer to the other. So I don't know, maybe if you ask me, do we need it, maybe I could say that I'm okay with the swivel at the tie here, but Bandai has given this kind of improvement on this articulation. I'm totally fine with it. We got much more option to display this figure. Yeah, so thumbs up to Bandai for adding this new articulation. Moving onwards with these accessories. So the first one is this relaxed hands. This one is much more open wide hands. This is what I call a crunching tiger hands. This one is two fingers pointing out on something hands. This definitely an Ultraman gesture of bursting power hand. The last but not least is this closed fist hands. The last piece is the extra antenna. You can replace it if the existing antenna is broken or missing, and be mindful to look at this indication left and right so you will not be mistakenly put it on the wrong side. So yeah, thank you for Bandai. This is very thoughtful of them. Now we can look at its scale comparison to my other action figures. So yeah, this figure stands around 5.5 inch, and with a Kamen Rider figure, I think it will suit pretty well on the SKC figure. And I only have this Kamen Rider Joker, and the rest I've sold it already, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and I will try to compare him with my other S.H.Figuarts figure and other brands. So let's check it out. So guys, this is the SKC Kamen Rider Joker that I mentioned just now, and this is the black variant. You know that Joker has many kind of suit, and this one is totally in black, and I love Kamen Rider in black. And with this design, the sleek and modern design and the simplicity to it just makes it a little bit more, and it's really, it looks good in my eyes. So that's why I'm keeping this and sell the others. So comparing him to this SKC Kamen Rider Black, you can see the height is pretty much the same, although Kamen Rider Joker has a little bit more smaller head, and you can see that the shoulder pad is a little bit more larger than SKC Black. But I know that people are arguing with this his shoulder, but to me, and I think it is okay. It does looks pretty accurate to the character when I check it on the internet. So maybe that is just me. I'm okay with it, and I think this SKC Black turns out to be very good in terms of proportion wise and everything. So it will definitely will suit in your SKC collection. Comparing him to my other S.H.Figuarts figure, and this is Spider-Man Homecoming version, and you can see that he is pretty much shorter than him. And then we can see this Justice League Batman, and this is a 6-inch height. There's a difference there, you can see that. And definitely Masco 112 Collective figure are much more bigger and taller than a standard S.H.Figuarts figure. So yeah, you can see the height differences, and that is how it will look like in your collection. So let's move on to the next segment. Before I conclude this figure review, I just wanted to show you guys that this figure can actually balance and stand in one foot without any issue, if anybody is wondering. So as you can see here, that is pretty dope. Before I end my figure review, I just wanted to state my final verdict on this figure, and there are some negative and positive issue with this figure. And the first one, that the rubber piece under his shoulder armor. I don't know why Bandai decided to make it like this. Maybe it's because to give the character much more accuracy in terms of looks. But the downside is collectors and like me have to find a solution how to maintain the quality for this rubber piece here, so it won't crease in a very short period. So yeah, so the next issue is this, also on the shoulder pads. It's regarding the sizing and final coat on this shoulder pads. People tend to say that the shoulder should be bigger, and this one is too small, and I think once you pose it around, it won't look that obvious. For the final coating on his shoulder pad is pretty much different from the overall scheme of this armor, and I think maybe Bandai has been given the proper blueprint or the actual design for this character, and that's why they did what they did. And for me, totally I'm fine with it. It's basically a small issue. It's just that it is worth to point out. And so for the positive note, I can say that this figure has major update on him, and if you are comparing it to the version 1 and 2 of S.H.Figuarts, this is the SKC version, and I'm glad that this figure has been introduced in SKC line. And as you know, that SKC line is much more superior with other KAMEN S.H.Figuarts line, so I'm happy that he has been included in this line. And just to mention that it has pretty much upgrades in articulation, proportion, and the quality of making this piece is very highly done with Bandai. And speaking of articulation, we got some new introduced articulation on the lower knee, the hinge part, which I have mentioned earlier in my videos, and we also have the seamless articulation on the shoulder area. That is pretty good engineering to it, and I hope this will continue with other KAMEN black figures such as RX, Bio Rider, and Robo Rider in the future. So hopefully we get them all in the future with this SKC line, and yeah, it's pretty good job from Bandai. And for those who have the S.H.Figuarts version 1 and 2 of KAMEN Black, I think you might need this as well, and please do not skip this figure because it is so great and it will make you happy. And I think this will be much more superior version of KAMEN Black, and you should get it in your collection. And yeah, grab this SKC KAMEN Black now while you still can, before the price increases in short time, because I think this type of character tends to have increases in value in a short period. So just make the purchase and you will not regret it, believe me. This is one of the best piece that I can say for KAMEN Black, especially for this character. So guys, that is the end of my review, and I hope you like it. If you have any opinion or thoughts, you can leave a comment down below and we'll discuss it. And if you like the video and you feel like this video is informative enough, please click the like button. And if you feel you want to support me, please subscribe to the channel and you will be notified once my video comes live. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Till we meet again in my next video. Sayonara.